Throughout history, there are moments when everything could have changed. Moments when the future hung in the balance. Did you know that Adolf Hitler survived 23 separate assassination attempts during his time in power? 23 chances to change history. 23 moments when the world almost took a different path. July 20th, 1944. A briefcase bomb explodes just 4 feet from Hitler in his Wolfslair headquarters. The oak conference table is destroyed. 4 men die instantly. Yet Hitler walks away with minor injuries. Was this just luck, or was something else at work? Today, we explore what might have happened if these assassination attempts had succeeded. How would World War II have ended differently? How would the world we live in today be changed? Let us journey through the roads not taken in history. Hitler survived attempts on his life beginning as early as 1921, long before he rose to full power. These ranged from simple plots in beer halls to complex conspiracies involving his own generals. What makes this particularly interesting is that many of these attempts were not just possible, they were likely to succeed. In many cases, Hitler's survival came down to small coincidences or last-minute changes of plan. Let us look at how history might have changed if any of these attempts had succeeded. Let us examine the 3 most significant attempts and their potential alternate timelines. First, the November 1939 bombing at the Bürgerbräukeller in Munich. Georg Elser, a carpenter, spent over a year planning this attempt. He hollowed out a pillar behind the speaker's platform and installed a time bomb with incredible precision. His plan was perfect. Yet Hitler, who normally spoke for an hour, unexpectedly cut his speech short by 30 minutes and left the hall. 13 minutes later, the bomb exploded exactly as planned, killing 8 people. Had Hitler died that night in 1939, World War II would have been dramatically different. The Nazi Party was still consolidating power and lacked a clear succession plan. Hermann Göring would likely have taken control, but without Hitler's fanatical vision. Göring, more of a military pragmatist, might have sought early negotiations with Britain and France after securing Poland. The Holocaust, Hitler's personal obsession, might never have escalated to industrial genocide. The second critical moment, March 13, 1943. Operation Flash. German officers planned to kill Hitler aboard his aircraft using a time bomb disguised as bottles of liquor. The bomb activated but failed to explode due to the cold temperature at high altitude. If this attempt had succeeded, it would have happened at a crucial time, just after the German defeat at Stalingrad, when military leaders were questioning Hitler's decisions. Military commanders like Field Marshal von Manstein might have taken control and possibly negotiated peace with Western allies while continuing to fight the Soviet Union. This could have completely changed how World War II ended and shaped the Cold War that followed. But it is the July 20th, 1944 attempt, Operation Valkyrie, that was the closest to success. Colonel Klaus von Stauffenberg placed a briefcase bomb directly beside Hitler during a military conference. Only the spontaneous action of Colonel Heinz Brandt, who moved the briefcase behind a heavy table leg, saved Hitler by redirecting the blast. The Valkyrie conspirators included high-ranking military officers, civil servants, and diplomats who had already prepared a shadow government. This was not just an assassination, it was a complete plan to take over Germany. The timing of this attempt makes it especially significant. By mid-1944, the Allied forces had landed in Normandy. The Soviets were advancing from the east, and Germany's defeat was becoming inevitable. Had Hitler been eliminated then, the conspirators planned to immediately open peace negotiations with Western allies while continuing to fight the Soviets. their main goal being to prevent Soviet occupation of Germany. Think about how this would have changed the world. The Cold War might have taken an entirely different form. The Iron Curtain might never have fallen across Central Europe. The Berlin Wall might never have existed. The entire map of post-war Europe would have looked completely different. If Hitler had been killed in the 1939 attempt, the war might have ended much sooner. Millions of lives could have been saved, particularly those lost in the Holocaust. Europe might not have been so devastated, and the rise of the United States and Soviet Union as superpowers might have been delayed or taken a different form. If the 1943 Operation Flash had succeeded, Germany might have split from its alliance with Japan and sought a separate peace with Britain and America. This could have allowed Germany to focus entirely on the Eastern Front against the Soviet Union. The post-war world might have seen a very different power balance. And if the 1944 Valkyrie plot had succeeded, the war would likely have ended months earlier, saving countless lives in the final battles. Germany might have avoided complete occupation, and the division between East and West might have been very different. The entire Cold War might have played out differently, or might not have happened at all. What can we learn from these turning points in history? First, individual actions matter. Each of these assassination attempts was orchestrated by people who recognized evil and tried to stop it, often at great personal risk. The Valkyrie plotters knew they would likely be executed if they failed, yet they acted anyway because they believed it was right. Second, history often hangs on small details. The briefcase moved a few feet. A speech ended 30 minutes early. A cold airplane cabin preventing a bomb from working. Tiny moments can change everything that follows. Third, we see that even in the darkest times, there are always people willing to stand up for what is right. The German resistance to Hitler shows that not everyone supported the Nazi regime, and many Germans risked everything to try to end Hitler's rule. As we look back at these moments when history could have changed, we are reminded of how fragile the path of events really is. The world we live in today was shaped by both success and failure, by actions taken and not taken. The story of Hitler's survival against so many assassination attempts raises profound questions about how history unfolds. Would a world without Hitler have been better? Almost certainly. But would it have been perfect? No. Other forces and other leaders would have emerged with their own agendas and ambitions. What potential turning points might we be facing in our own time? What courage might be required of us? What dark forces might we need to recognize and confront? The past is written, but the future remains open, shaped by our collective choices and our willingness to act when it matters most. History is not just something that happens to us. It is something we create together, one choice at a time. If you found this exploration of history's turning points intriguing, we would be honored to have you join our community. Your support helps us continue creating thought-provoking content that examines the deeper patterns of history. Please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. What other historical what-if scenarios would you like us to explore next? Perhaps the assassination of Julius Caesar. Or what if the Cuban Missile Crisis had escalated? Your suggestions directly influence our future videos. And if you enjoyed this journey through the corridors of alternate history, a simple like lets us know we are on the right path. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of history's hidden pathways. Until next time, keep questioning. Keep exploring.